To change the look of the design tool, you need to come into Edit Website, Website Pages, and then you want to go into Design, Style Editor, and at the very bottom, you can change the color scheme of the design tool. Now, in order to be able to actually see those changes, we obviously need to be on the design tool page. So I'm going to come up here to Pages, we're going to go on to the Designer, and then I'll hop back over to Design, Style Editor, scroll down to the very bottom, and again, this is where I control the color scheme that is on the actual design tool. So like this top bar color up here, maybe I'll make it pink as an example. We can make the background black. We can change the panel background, this button color. These are the basic things you can do within the style editor. The design tool isn't really just something we can do whatever we want with. It is primarily updating the color scheme within the style editor, and then on the page itself, if I click on it, it opens up the design tool settings, or essentially the designer widget. So the full screen option allows me to control, is it the full height of the page? So are we going to essentially eliminate the header on the design tool page? So if I go full screen on desktop, because that's what I'm on, you can see the header essentially disappears and it goes all the way to the top of the page. So you can control if you want it to be full screen on different devices. You can also control how it loads. Do we want it to load with the cheapest decoration method selected, even though a product hasn't been chosen? Not very common. What is common is the Get Started pop-up message. So when a customer first lands on the design tool, you could have a pop-up message that asks the customer, do you want to add a design or do you want to add text? So it's kind of assuming that the customer already selected the product they want to decorate. I'm not the biggest fan of this because I like to let the customer make sure that they have selected the right product before we're pushing them to add a design or text. It's just how I like to shop on the site. But if we don't want to show that Get Started pop-up, we can check Override Show Get Started pop-up message, and then uncheck Show Get Started, and then that pop-up message will not be there. If I want to edit it, I can override it, and I can essentially add additional text to inform the customer the steps to using the design tool to place an order. So the Get Started pop-up, around half users of the software prefer to have it on, around half turn it off. Quote link. So I really like to have the quote link on. It'll load the request a quote page. So down here, this little question mark, the customer can request a quote for this design and layout that they've created if you have this setting on. Product, I can choose to show the product code, the brand, the product brand's logo, the full product description. I can show the change product button as well. And the design allows us to choose what type of category of artwork is on by default. Do we want to force the customer to look at stock designs or store designs? Store designs are often a finished piece of artwork that the customer is going to use on a shirt, and there's not typically a whole lot of editing. A stock design is typically going to be clip art or a design template. So these are more commonly used on the design tool, and you may want to set that the stock design is the default. Buttons. So throughout the design tool, we have several buttons, and you can change the text of it. So you see like buy, I could change this to add to cart, and you can see it updates there. So you can update the text of the buttons are used throughout the design tool. And the help pop-up message, so if we come down to the bottom, if I show the help pop-up message, you see this little question mark. The customer can essentially click on that and a pop-up message on how to use the design tool will pop up. You can edit the pop-up message within the general settings of the admin. Commercial terms is where you would edit that if you would like. And then the screen colors pop up if we want to edit that message that is shown at the very bottom of the screen when we are adding screen printing artwork, we can. So to summarize it, to edit the look of the design tool, again, design style editor, the very bottom, you can update the color scheme. To update some of the layout and settings, just come to the designer page, click on the actual tool, and these are the different settings that you can configure. If you have any questions on how to edit the look of the design tool, come up to the very top where you can search our many great help articles, or click on the question mark and raise a support ticket with Client Services, who is there to help you whenever you have questions or you're running into problems. Hopefully you find this video helpful, and thank you for watching.